Hi everyone, I'm reading the book Caps for Sale, which I enjoyed as a child, and it was actually one of my son's favorite books, so we used to read it a lot at my house. Caps for Sale. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so he would not upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and down the street, calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that day. Nobody even wanted the red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said, and he walked out of town, slowly, slowly, so he wouldn't upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "This is a nice place for a rest," he thought. And he sat down very slowly under the tree. He leaned back a little bit and sat against the tree trunk so he wouldn't disturb the caps on his hat. Then he put his hand to feel like they were straight. His own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and the red caps at the very, very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep, and he slept for a long time. When he woke up, he stretched and he was rested. But before he stood up, he went to straighten up his caps. But all he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right, no caps. He looked to the left, no caps. He looked in the back, no caps. He looked behind the trees, no caps. And then he looked up into the tree. And what do you think he saw? On every branch was a monkey. And on every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. The peddlers looked at the monkeys, and the monkey looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. So finally he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking his finger, "you give me back my cap." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and went tss, tss, tss. This made the peddler really angry, so he shook both hands and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only looked at the peddler and went tss, tss, tss. Now he was really angry and he stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet and went tss, tss, tss. By this time, the peddler was really, really angry. He stamped both of his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet and went tss, tss, tss. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap and he threw it on the ground and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off their cap, the gray caps, the brown caps, the blue caps, the red caps, and they all came flying out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and at the very top, all of the red caps. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town, calling, "Caps, caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap," with all of his caps. I hope you enjoyed the story. See you tomorrow.